Even after his death, Jeffrey Epstein's shadow refuses to fade. Hidden documents, explosive testimonies, and political power plays continue to surface, challenging everything we thought we knew about his network and the people connected to him. From FBI revelations to congressional investigations, legal battles, and international controversies, the Epstein case remains one of the most complex and controversial stories of our time. Today, we're diving deep into the latest developments that could reshape the narrative and uncover secrets some hoped would never see the light of day. Before we dive into today's story, kindly subscribe to our Shadow Detective channel if you believe in fighting for justice. Kindly help us reach 200 subscribers, and we believe that with energy and support, we will achieve it. Let's build this community that refuses to stay silent, to stop asking the hardest question of all. But why? Every view, every comment, and every subscriber is a stand against silence and a step toward truth for those who can't fight for themselves. The Jeffrey Epstein case never truly ended. Even after his death, the ripples of scandal, secrecy, and political intrigue continue to shock the world. From sealed documents to legal battles and powerful figures under scrutiny, the story refuses to fade. Today, we take a closer look at the latest developments, verified reports, official documents, and new revelations that could change everything you thought you knew about Epstein and those connected to him. In this video, we'll guide you through the most recent updates, examining FBI statements, congressional investigations, legal actions, and international fallout, all through the lens of facts and evidence. What remains hidden, what has been revealed, and what it all means for justice are questions we will explore together. In recent hearings, FBI Director Kash Patel delivered a statement that has sparked both surprise and debate. According to Patel, there is no credible information suggesting that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to others. While Epstein himself engaged in criminal activity, the FBI's findings indicate that evidence tying others directly to his trafficking operations remains elusive. This assertion stands in contrast to earlier claims about a so-called client list, raising questions about what documents, testimonies, or leads may have been overlooked or withheld. Patel also highlighted the 2008 non-prosecution agreement, signed by former U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta, which severely limited further investigation into Epstein's activities. Legal experts argue that this agreement created lasting barriers, leaving many questions unresolved. For investigators and the public alike, these statements renew a central question: how much of the Epstein network will ever be fully exposed? And how do these official statements align with what survivors and journalists have long sought to reveal? Beyond the walls of the FBI, Congress has stepped into the Epstein saga with renewed scrutiny. The House Oversight Committee has recently released a series of documents from Epstein's estate, including what has been referred to as his birthday book, along with a letter allegedly signed by former President Donald Trump. The White House has denied the authenticity of this letter, but the release has reignited public and political debate. Committee Chairman James Comer has also promised further disclosures, particularly regarding any connections to Prince Andrew, who has long faced scrutiny over his association with Epstein. The documents provide glimpses into the complex network of influence and secrecy that surrounded Epstein, while also highlighting the challenges of piecing together a complete picture from fragments of evidence. For investigators, each new file or letter is more than paper. It is a potential key to understanding the full scope of Epstein's operations and the people intertwined in his world. For the public, it raises difficult questions about power, accountability, and how much has yet to come to light. The legal and political reverberations of the Epstein case continue to unfold in unexpected ways. Former President Donald Trump has announced a $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, claiming the newspaper falsely linked him to Epstein's activities. In parallel, another lawsuit seeks an expedited deposition from media mogul Rupert Murdoch in a separate case involving the Wall Street Journal and alleged Epstein-related correspondence. Meanwhile, the Daily Beast publicly apologized to Melania Trump for a retracted article that inaccurately suggested she was introduced to Donald Trump through a modeling agent connected to Epstein. These high-profile legal maneuvers underscore the sensitive and controversial nature of Epstein-related reporting. Political figures are also weighing in. House Judiciary Committee ranking member Jamie Raskin has accused former President Trump of systematically dismantling U.S. efforts to combat sex trafficking and prosecute sex crimes. According to Raskin, these actions have had lasting consequences for victims and for the enforcement of justice. Taken together, the lawsuits, media scrutiny, and political criticism illustrate that the Epstein case is far from a closed chapter. The legal battles and public debates continue to expose connections, contradictions, and lingering questions about accountability. The Epstein case is not confined to the United States. Across the Atlantic, developments in the United Kingdom highlight the global reach of this scandal. Lord Peter Mandelson, a prominent British politician, faced controversy after his appointment as ambassador to the U.S., due in part to his previous associations with Epstein. Parliament debated the implications of his appointment, and Mandelson himself has expressed regret over his connection to Epstein. This situation underscores how Epstein's network touched influential figures worldwide, and how reputations, careers, and diplomatic decisions remain affected years after his death. For investigators and the public alike, the international dimension serves as a reminder: the Epstein case is not merely a domestic scandal, it is a web that spans continents, power corridors, and elite social circles. Every revelation abroad has the potential to shed light on connections that were previously hidden from view. While legal battles and political controversies unfold, survivors of Epstein's abuse continue to demand accountability and transparency. Many advocate for the full release of all sealed documents, arguing that only through complete disclosure can justice truly be served. Despite some recent disclosures, a significant portion of files remains inaccessible, leaving gaps in the public's understanding of Epstein's operations and the individuals connected to him. Survivor groups emphasize that these documents are not just historical records, they are vital evidence in the ongoing pursuit of justice. The voices of those who endured abuse are clear: transparency is essential. Without it, the full scope of Epstein's network and the accountability of those involved may never be realized. Their advocacy continues to push lawmakers, media, and investigators to keep the story alive and ensure that the pursuit of truth does not fade with time. While legal battles and political controversies unfold, survivors of Epstein's abuse continue to demand accountability and transparency. Many advocate for the full release of all sealed documents, arguing that only through complete disclosure can justice truly be served. Despite some recent disclosures, a significant portion of files remains inaccessible, leaving gaps in the public's understanding of Epstein's operations and the individuals connected to him. Survivor groups emphasize that these documents are not just historical records, they are vital evidence in the ongoing pursuit of justice. The voices of those who endured abuse are clear: transparency is essential. Without it, the full scope of Epstein's network and the accountability of those involved may never be realized. Their advocacy continues to push lawmakers, media, and investigators to keep the story alive and ensure that the pursuit of truth does not fade with time. The Jeffrey Epstein case may be decades in the making, but its secrets are still unfolding. From FBI statements to congressional investigations, from high-profile lawsuits to international controversies, each development adds another layer to an already complex story. What remains hidden, what has been revealed, and who will ultimately be held accountable are questions that continue to challenge investigators, lawmakers, and the public. One thing is clear: the Epstein saga is far from over, and its impact on justice, power, and accountability will be felt for years to come. As we follow these developments, we are reminded that truth often comes slowly, and that persistence, scrutiny, and transparency are essential in uncovering it. What do you think is still hidden in the Epstein files? Share your thoughts below, and join the conversation as the search for answers continues.